You can't over deliver your way into leadership. You can't overwork yourself into a VP role. And for sure, you can't sit down and wait for someone to come and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I want to advance you. No, that's not how it works. I had a client recently who was just telling me she got another offer, and just so that the company could keep her, they literally created a VP role specifically for her. So if you stick around, I'll be sharing some of those with you. I'm on YouTube, guys. Before now, I haven't posted on YouTube or social media in like 3 years. The moment I started my business, I was not shy anymore. It's like the shyness just disappeared, the quietness disappeared, the nervousness disappeared. If I don't pursue my business, who will do it for me? Right? Like, who will go out there and say, hey, this is Nikki Babs. She's an executive coach. She can help you move from mid-level professional to executive. And then I was like, wait a minute. What if we started treating our jobs like CEOs? You're a business of one. So if you started thinking about your job and your career like a business, what would you do differently? Put it in the comments. What would you do differently if you started treating your job and your career like a business? My name is Nikki Babs, and I help underestimated professionals rise into executive leadership because we all deserve that corner office. I also help people succeed and thrive wherever they are. Here's what nobody told me, and nobody tells anybody about promotions. You as an employee have to be strategic with how you're positioning yourself and how you're advocating for yourself for the roles that you want. Now, at this point, 18 months ago, I was an employee coaching leaders within my organization. Today, 18 months later, I've launched my business. I'm here speaking with you. I've gotten a lot of clients promotions, and I'm so excited to share these strategies with you because I feel like it will help you as well. Everybody I know that has broken through from nervous to speaking up, they've gone through these 5 stages. Most people are stuck in stage 1 and 2, and they find it very difficult to move on to stage 3. I call this the 5-step CEO transformation roadmap. So let's talk about stage 1. Stage 1 is where I lived for most of my career, and a lot of employees are stuck there as well. So what is the employee trap? Employees believe that once they come to work, do their job, and do it well, that they would get promoted over time. So they are focused on task execution. Your boss says, hey, Nikki, are you able to take this spreadsheet and create a dashboard for me? Yes, leader, I'm able to do that. Take the spreadsheet, create a dashboard, give it back. So the block for people in stage 1 is they're stuck in execution mode. By the way, I talk about my clients here, but I use random names for anonymity. So let's call her Sarah. This client that I worked with was stuck in execution mode for over 4 years. She became a manager due to her technical expertise, but she wouldn't move from manager position. She was just stuck there. Even in the manager role, she found herself still executing on a lot of tasks. She really wanted this director position, which is why she started working with me. She had been passed over like 3 times. Like, she had people who would join the organization and get over the hump and get these director role, but she was still stuck at manager and she couldn't understand why. Based on our conversation, the probable reason why others were getting promoted while she was stuck there is she wasn't communicating her impact. Like, Sarah comes to work, does what she's supposed to do, goes home. So why does the organization feel that they need to give you additional scope? Stage 2 is that awakening. Usually stage 2 happens due to a trigger event. In my case, it was the feedback that I received. In Sarah's example, it was her being passed over 3 times. So if you think about your situation, what stage are you in? The reason why I call it the awakening is because you start to ask yourself questions like, what am I doing wrong? Or why is my work not translating into advancement? And then the beautiful question that I would love for you to ask yourself is, who do I need to become to get there? Because a lot of us focus on the what. What do I need to do? But I think it's more important to ask yourself, who do I need to be or become? So let me ask you a question. Who do you need to become to get to the next level? Now, stage 3. Stage 3 is the CEO mindset. The CEO mindset is born because you're asking yourself the right questions. People in stage 3 stop thinking like task doers and start thinking like builders. Like, I'm about to build a business from scratch. What do I need to do to get it off the ground? Some of the activities that I see happen in stage 3 is looking ahead. Strategic thinkers tend to look far ahead. So have you crafted your 3 to 5 year plan, or are you only thinking about your current role today? I've actually seen some people take a demotion because they want a particular role 5 years from now. I've seen some people move teams. I've seen some people change roles. There's so many things that you can be doing as opposed to just chasing that next level if you start to think strategically about where you see yourself 5 years from now. Another thing I see people in stage 3 do is that they start to audit the perception around them. I always like to mention Apple, and Apple's tagline or slogan is think differently. I'm using an Apple product right now, and I can definitely feel the essence of that tagline with all of its products. So in the same vein, people who are at stage 3 start to become intentional about how they want people to perceive them. Like when you think about Nikki, for instance, what's the first thing I want you to think about? And how can I make sure that my activities and the projects and my communication style, my dressing and everything I do aligns with the perception that I'm trying to create? Now, I want to note here, this is not about being inauthentic. It's about being intentional and aware about what you are, who you are, and how you would like to be perceived. All right, we're ramping up. Stage 4. Stage 4 is strategic execution. Now, I know I talk a lot about execution and tasks. We do still need to be busy and do things in the workplace, but it is the strategic nature of the tasks that determine what tasks are valuable to an organization and what tasks are what I call busy work. So stage 4, that's where the magic happens. One of my clients, let's call her Sarah again for anonymity. Sarah was a marketing director. She would go into leadership meetings and just give them a rundown of all the tasks that they've accomplished over the last couple of months. And she'll talk about, hey, these are the things that we did, and this is what we need next, and we need headcount, and we need budget. And it was always just asks. And a lot of the leaders kept declining her monthly meetings that she would schedule. And so she was kind of worried, like, are these people interested in learning like what I've been working on? When we started to work together, I helped her to articulate what would be most important to those leaders. Like if I'm the CFO, for instance, why do I need to attend your meeting, Miss Sarah? Like what's in it for me? Because a lot of times when we schedule meetings, we only think about what's in it for ourselves. I want to share XYZ. But when do we stop to think about the person who's in the meeting and asking what's in it for them? What will be most important to share with them? And how can I make sure that they understand that that would be a part of the conversation? Congratulations. We arrived at stage 5. Stage 5 is where you want to be. This is the stage that I've termed mastery and momentum. Because in this stage, you've mastered how to own your voice, how to be strategic. When you're in this stage, you are most likely always proactive about how you approach work. You're no longer thinking like just an employee who's climbing a career ladder. At this point, you're thinking like the CEO of your career. And so what does that look like for you? You're proactive in meetings. You're most likely known for how you think as opposed to just what you do. You're being called into strategic meetings and conversations to offer your feedback and your insights. You're being tapped for advice and for counsel. At this stage, you have owned and mastered your voice. Sarah, who I've been working with, is now at stage 5. And it's so interesting because Sarah got poached by a recruiter. But because of how valuable she is to the organization, they literally created a role for Sarah. And this could be you. If you follow all of these stages and you employ all of the tools and techniques that I've been offering you, you will get there. When you're at stage 5, you're no longer chasing promotions, rather promotions are chasing you. You're being bugged down by recruiters every day trying to poach you for their organization. The company is making sure that number 1, you're on a succession plan, and number 2, they're doing right by you. They're paying you what you're worth and even more just to be able to keep you. I wanted to pause right now and ask yourself this question. What stage am I in? So, you've heard the 5 stages of thinking like a CEO. What is your roadmap to get to stage 5? Here's what I recommend. Number 1, download my free leadership gap assessment. This is an assessment that will probably take you 3 to 5 minutes, answer a couple of questions, and it tells you the gap between where you are and where you're trying to get to. The second thing that I would recommend is for you to download my Career Visibility Toolkit. It is free and it has loads of resources like what I shared today, a lot of scripts, toolkits, things that you can use today to start to move the needle at work. And the third, if you're ready to fast track your journey from wherever you are in terms of stages to stage 5, reach out for a conversation. This will be a free complimentary coaching call for us to figure out where you are in your journey and where you would like to get to. I always like to offer a complimentary coaching session to clients. Why is that? I feel like It's very helpful to get a taste of what coaching is and see it in action so you can see the value that it would offer you. So, this is a no pressure conversation. You actually get a sample coaching free of charge. We talk about your leadership gap assessment, where you are, where you're trying to get to, and you get to decide how you want to. I talk about these topics on an ongoing basis. If you found this helpful, I implore you to please like, share, comment so we can reach other people and bring a lot more people into this community. If you want to hear more, see more, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. I look forward to talking to you on the next one.